welcome to the Sunday Fun Day podcast. The hangover never sounded so good. I'm your host, Gil Patterson, and I'm back with Charlie, the artist. Because guess what? Sometimes you got to bring back the young bloods because they are the future, they are the greats, and they actually get to hang out and tell you their stories. The Sunday Funny Podcast, your hangover never sounded so good. Let's get to it. All right, Charlie, welcome back, man.
Thanks,
How
dude.
you been, bro?
Been good. Thanks for having me, dude. It's always fun.
Always fun?
Yeah.
Well, this time, make sure your face is near the microphone, okay?
Yeah.
You're like, mm-hmm.
Last time I was all over the place.
Yeah,
huh?
don't do that ever again.
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
So, Charlie, last time you were on the show, we were talking about your artwork and your artistry. But since you've been away, no, I'm not stealing anything from Kelly Clarkson. Since you've been gone, you ended up taking a trip. And I remember you taking this trip and then texting me because your plans fell through. And if anybody who knows me knows that I know a guy.
He knows a guy.
I know a guy. And Charlie says, hey, man, I'm in New York. Our plans fell through. Do you know anybody that we can stay with? And I go, I know a guy. Yeah. And so I hooked you up with my buddy out there in Bed-Stuy. First off, tell me what took you to New York in the first daggone place, because I'm just wondering.
I mean, you got to go to New York at least once, right? It's I was just nearing the end of my summer. I was like, I didn't do enough cool stuff yet. So me and my friend Jake, shout out Jake, best buddy ever, good guy.
Not Jake from State Farm.
No, not Jake from State Farm, but he'd been there, and I was like, bro, let's go to New York. He's like, all right, yeah. And tickets there round trip are only $250 each.
So much cheaper
Isn't
than
that
flying.
Crazy?
Well, I can fly from Portland to New York cheaper than I can go from Portland to DC or Baltimore.
No, I know.
Yeah, so that's why I never go home.
I was looking at a ticket to Montana, and it was like $500.
Well, I mean, Billings, Montana is the next biggest city.
Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe, but
The best you could do is like fly to I guess Pocatello and maybe drive to Billings.
But it doesn't make sense, right? Like you're going half the way, but it's double the price.
Well, it's smaller airports, less traffic, but New York is like constant. Yeah. They can make money off of that one.
And I'd always kind of like dreamt of going there, and it was everything that I thought it was going to be and more. And thanks to Akil, we went there. We didn't have a hotel. Halfway through our trip, it was piss and rain. It was 2 weeks before that crazy rainstorm hit, and it was still piss and rain. It was 80 degrees out. It felt like it was like Hawaii or something.
Yeah, the humidity. I told you about the humidity back then.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
When people complain about, we're here in the Pacific Northwest, people are like, oh, it's so hot. I'm like, not really.
No.
I mean, it's 110 heat index, but it's just 110. Mm-hmm. It's almost like desert heat.
Yeah.
It's just dry.
Yeah.
But when you feel humidity for the first time,
it sucks. You're sweating. I sweat a lot anyway, and I was sweating through all my clothes, dude, and it was terrible. I mean, it was fun, right? You're New York, right? So whatever, but...
Where'd you go in New York when you first got there?
Where did we go?
Yeah, where'd you go?
It was funny because we booked the trip, right? And it happened just so happened to be Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week.
Oh, that's a good time. I once went to Betsy Johnson's fashion show out there.
And yeah, we got lucky. I mean, I'm not super into all that stuff, but it was definitely interesting to see like some people walking down the street in some funny outfits, you know.
Were you down in Midtown area?
We hung out mostly in Manhattan.
If you go, there's an area near NYU, not far from there. Yeah, there's an art district over that way. Yeah, NYU. Did you go over there?
Yeah, that was fun. We went to that, I forget what it's called, that one park. It was like some crazy big park near NYU.
Central Park?
No. We went there too, but yeah.
Some big park.
The best art we saw was the Upper West Side Chelsea.
Okay. Oh, Chelsea's. Oh yeah,
they had some crazy stuff there.
That's where
that was fun.
Chelsea's is like micro Portland. It's like everything's smashed.
Good food. They had really good. Best tacos I ever had.
Really?
Best
tacos?
Best tacos I've ever had.
See, I don't eat tacos when I go to New York. So New York, when I go to New York, I get pizza because dollar pizza is delicious. It's the water. I get bagels. Always get a bagel. Mm-hmm. Did you get a bagel?
I got Tompkins Square bagels.
Okay.
It was legit.
The legit. Jewish delis down there always have good food, like corned beef hash.
What's that one spot with the craziest?
Like, the cronut?
No, it was like the crazy big pastrami sandwich. It cost like $28.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Katz's Deli.
Oh, right there. Oh, okay.
Dude, I ate that.
They have the whole thing too. They have cheesecake.
I ate the whole pastrami sandwich. It was probably like over a pound of meat, and I like tasted so good. But like later that night, I was feeling shit, dude.
Bro, like I said, like New York. I keep telling people when people in the Pacific Northwest tell me about food, I'm like, this stuff isn't that good.
It's all right. So I mean, we got food carts.
Okay,
that's
stop
what
it.
we got. That's what Portland has is food carts.
But stop it, okay? You had the food there. Is it not better?
I mean, there's just more of it. There's just more selection.
But it's better food. I mean, the seasoning, the taste.
You're right.
It just pops off. Like I'm not saying, like for this side of the country, Portland's
it's good. It is, I think you're right.
For great food. But just New York, you can get anything at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you want a steak, you can get a steak. At 3 o'clock in the morning, you can get a steak.
Yeah.
If you want corned beef and hash, you can find a place that has corned beef and hash. If you want a cronut, you can find a cronut.
It's not too expensive, really. I mean, I got like some crazy good like bacon, egg, and cheese. Just like a little. It was like a fancy little spot, and it was cheap. It was like $8. It was chill. It was fire.
New York, it's got great food, and you know what it's based off of? Our really great water. New York, go for the water. Stay for everything else. I don't know if that should be a slogan or whatever, but
is the water really better?
Yeah, the water is actually great there.
I thought Oregon had like the best drinking water.
Oregon has good drinking water. New York, the water is what actually makes the pizza, the bread, because it's the dough. The dough, you can't. There's things that people can't explain, and everyone always goes back to it's the water. And New York has a really good water system.
I bet, yeah.
For as many people as it has, New York is a great place. All right, so you get to New York, you're hanging out, you're there for the fashion week.
Yeah.
And then you need a place to stay.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I remember it was if you watch our last podcast, this is right before the trip. I go, yeah, dude, I'm going to New York. He goes, oh, if you get stuck, I know a guy. He's always saying that, right? I'm like, all right, yeah. So we were down bad in New York with nowhere to go. We had nowhere to go. And I go, Akil, dude, hook me up. And shout out Mark Antony because he came through, your friend. Great guy. I hope he's watching this. Shout out Mark Antony. Saved me and my friend Jake. Put us up in his basement. AC, beer, TV. It's great. Oh my God. Saved us. So thank you so much, Akil. I always remember that.
No. Mark Antony, he and I go back, I want to say about 20 years. But God damn.
Good dude. He's a great guy.
Great guy.
You said to pay it forward, so one day I'm gonna pay it forward just for
exactly.
Just for him.
And that's the part I think that most people don't recognize is like in this society, in our world that we live in, not enough people pay it forward. They just don't. Like I know that, like you met Mark Antony, Mark Antony, not Mark Anthony, Mark Antony. And I told you the story how Mark Antony and I met. You know, one day we're at a wrestling tournament. Somebody calls him an Arab, and I go, "He's Mexican," and that's like kind of like our segue into him. But you know, when you're talking with people about how you connect, I think that's the most important thing. Is like I know a guy because simply I was just there for a friend. I'm always
what
genuine.
A powerful thing that is to be like, yeah, like that dude's nice, and then. I go like, yeah, he's super nice. Like, of course, yeah, like it's just a huge, powerful thing. Like spreading kindness into the world is so powerful. It's like,
well, I think
shout out Mark Antony.
We all should be doing that. We all really should be spreading our kindness, our love, and our joy wherever we're at. I don't think there is. I don't think there's a moment in my life where I haven't had that bond with people. Like. You know, I've traveled across the country. So, how many states have you been to?
I mean, more than a couple. I don't know. Washington, California, Nevada, New York, Florida. I guess Idaho, Montana.
Okay.
Maybe, I think that might be it. I'm sure you've been to a bunch, huh?
I've been to lower 48.
Which ones are you missing, though?
Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh, come on. You got to go to Hawaii.
Well, I know. That's one of the reasons why I moved out this way. But one of the problems with, like, going to Hawaii is like it's still like a 7-hour flight.
Yeah.
It's a 7-hour flight to Hawaii, and it's expensive because I'm cheap.
Like, no, you're not. Come on, dude.
Oh no, I'm cheap.
You're a big baller.
I'm cheap. But you see everything. I get a return on that investment, right? So like if I go out and I buy artwork.
Tell me about your trip though. You were just in Miami for
Art
Basel.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me about that.
So dope. So I spend most of the time around NFT and crypto people.
Yeah.
Saw a couple pieces of artwork. Yeah. But I really enjoy connecting with individuals, and I think that. Do you want to know the highlight of my entire trip?
Of course, yeah. And
I know you're going to want to hear this too. It was sitting down and eating catfish and fried chicken with a group of people.
That's it.
Bro, it is the most amazing time.
It's just simple. It's just the simple things, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you haven't been to Hawaii, but you've been to Florida, I think I'm about to go to Florida in a couple of days to see some family for Christmas. But I think Florida is like a mix between Hawaii and Texas. It's kind of like that tropical vibe, but like you get that sort of like American feel.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I like Miami because Miami's a bubble. Mm-hmm. Miami's not real. Like if you go, like so, there's like Florida's shaped like a gun. You ever notice?
Yeah.
And then there's like this panhandle over here, and then down here at the barrel, going right. These people are cool. Down here, cool. Yep. Over here, fucktards. If you live over here in a gun, you're a fucktard. Down here, you're cool.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like Jacksonville and South. I'm cool with that. Everyone else, I'm like, Ugh.
But you said you liked Miami, right?
I like Miami. What I don't like is some of the attitudes in Miami because it's like the I know it all crowd. Yeah. But overall, I do like Miami. And I like the vibe of just being around diversity.
Yeah. Like, everyone's super nice down there. They're super laid back, too.
Miami.
Good art town down there. They got a lot of art.
Again, there's the both and. Like, Fort Lauderdale's probably more of my vibe than Miami.
You think?
So Fort Lauderdale's just more real.
It's like more north, right, Miami?
No, Miami's more south.
Yeah.
It's like 120 miles off the coast of Cuba or something, or 80 miles. I don't remember. But it's not too far off the coast of Cuba. And so there's a big immigrant population. Like everyone's like bilingual down there. And Fort Lauderdale's a great place. And Fort Lauderdale's like 15 minutes from Miami, so it's not that far. If with no traffic. So when you're in places like that, you tend to kicked out the power surge over this thing. So when you're down there in those places, you really have a good time. But ultimately, I think just being cool with folks. So, yeah. So, all right. So you're staying at Mark Antony's house.
Yeah.
You're having a good time in New York. And then it's like raining cats and dogs. So you're stuck inside.
I mean, we brought our skateboards, me and Jake, to get around the city, right?
Yeah.
But it was pissing rain the whole time. So we only skated like one day, but we were just walking around just all day, every day. Yeah. We went to the Whitney.
Okay.
I wanted to go to the Guggenheim so bad, but we didn't get around to it. There's a lot of things like, it's so much to do. So.
Oh, so much. And you never get it all.
You can't do it all.
Can't do it all
in just a week too.
Yeah.
And I saw everything that I feel like I needed to see. But I definitely got to go back and see some more.
Maybe if we can get you out of school in April, we'll take it in New York.
Hit me up, Akil.
Because it's a good time. And you should be going to New York too. All right. So now that you got back from Florida, it was that last trip of the summer. Mm-hmm. School started. Now, here's what I just told you guys. And ladies, I want you all to know. You are single, Charlie?
I am single. I am.
Charlie is looking amazing. And I'm telling that as a friend. Like, the guy comes in, I'm like, yo, Charlie, you look really good. Like, you look a lot healthier than last time. And Charlie goes, yeah, I committed myself to the gym. And I was like, dude, you do look great. You look healthy. You got some more sun. Dude. You got a lot, like, this aura to you. So you've been... Did your little brother put you to shame? Is that what made you want to?
No, it is. Yeah. How'd you know?
Because your brother is like...
He's a stud.
He's like Jack Diesel, and you're like...
I'm like, fuck. I'm like...
Yeah, this dude is like... You're like...
He's my little brother, and he's huge.
He's got like guns. You're like...
Yeah. I'm like, I can't let this happen. I can't just let this go by. This won't stand.
This will not stand in my house.
And so, I mean, shout out to my little brother. Like, I love that dude so much. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be shit. Like, that dude put in the work for months and months. Like, over a year now, he's been in the gym every day. He's a stud.
Now he's playing football too this year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid. And
he made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good job.
Did
what?
he?
They made the playoffs. You didn't know?
No.
Holy shit! How do I?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, they're not. They weren't great, but they did it.
They did all right.
Yeah,
it was an okay season.
They made it.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, he's a good looking guy.
Your team was better.
But dude, my brother was my motivation to hit the gym, and I mean, you gotta
that and me.
Get any shit you can.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I started hitting the gym. It felt good. Like, made some friends there. Like, started getting into it, and it's been fun. Gained a little weight.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more than I wanted, but
nah. You look good.
Thanks, dude.
Don't get too much bigger.
No,
then
I'm gonna
you'll be popping out your shirt.
The impending cut is gonna happen sooner or later. I think January 7th is my day for the cut.
Really?
Maybe like a 10-week.
So right now you're on the binge.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be like, all right, because it's a holiday binge.
I'm just trying to like
Everyone's at the holiday binge.
I'm gonna maintain some muscle, hopefully lose some fat, eat some protein, get some cardio in. Dude, that's it.
I just ate like 10 pounds worth of just straight like diced chicken the other day. It was delicious. Everyone's like,
every day,
bro, just chicken. And I have those like I was telling Eli, who comes on the show regularly.
Shout out Eli.
I was just telling Eli, I was like, bro, I'm literally just gonna do. I said I do these. I have pre-made meals and chicken.
Yep.
He's like, what's the pre-meal for? I'm like, the pre-meal is like the shake stuff, like so I get my vitamins, my nutrients, and then I eat the chicken for my protein.
I started taking vitamins.
Yeah, like dude,
that shit is cool, dude.
You should. It gives you so much more energy, and I tell you what. Also, what's been really helpful for me is getting up in the morning.
Oh my God, yeah.
Just getting up and doing something.
It just helps so much.
I forgot how much I missed it.
Dude, what vitamins do you take?
So, well, I'm older than you, so I have to take like I take a blood pressure medication, so I take that. But then I take a multivitamin, and then I take some flaxseed oil, and then I take some fish oil, codfish oil.
Yep.
Then I take some vitamin C, some vitamin A, and then I get some extra vitamin D. Don't worry about the vitamin D. Then you probably take a lot of vitamin C. And a little vitamin
bro,
D.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. And then when I'm done with those things, I take my shake in the morning. So I take about 5 vitamins in the morning, and then I take the shake. Shake has all the fruits and veggies that I need for the day. And then at the night, I get my diced chicken.
There you go.
And then I might add a little black pepper on it. I can't do salt because I have high blood pressure, so I always want to just kind of like do like very minimum.
What about like ice cream and like
I try not to do that. I try not to do ice cream because again, I'm not bulking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just like keep my body.
I mean, you got so
down.
much muscle on you. You could probably hit like the most demon cut of all time.
You know, I used to think
you're a lineman.
I was, but now, you know, as the older you get, the worse. Like you don't want to get like more like you're just like I just want to be able to fit in. When we get done, I'll show you. I got some bomb ass suits. I just had an entirely new
tailored.
Oh, custom.
How many?
I got about like 5 custom suits and 13 custom shirts.
You're the shit.
I am a little bit obsessed.
It's all about the fit. Bro. It's all about the fit.
And then you saw what I just got back from Nike. I bought a bunch of Nike Tech stuff.
Yeah, Nike Tech.
Yeah.
This dude pulled up a Nike Tech.
I do.
Fire.
I tell people, and then I get it's the new J's. Yeah, got from me and my partner.
J's, some Jordan ones.
Yep. See, and they're nice, but I had to get the color. They did not have the color Nike Tech that I want with the shoes, and that's why I was like, I got to go back. So now I'm gonna email Dylan.
Run that shit back.
Because Dylan gave me my pass. Shout out to our boy Dylan. Who, by the way, when he finally gets on the show, I think people understand how crazy he is.
Dylan Iwanaga?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta have him on.
He just
funny ass dude, great dude.
He's wild, but he's so slow.
Well, you want to know a funny story about Dylan is So I joined the football team my senior year.
Yeah.
And Dylan, I was trying out for a wide receiver, and Dylan Iwanaga, great dude, shout out Dylan, was the wide receiver I was competing against.
Oh yeah, you weren't gonna start over him.
Okay, whatever.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Come on, whatever.
That's what he said.
I mean, I did the last game of the season, but no, he was good. He was better than me.
He always say he's like, you're not gonna start over me, but all right.
I wasn't a very good wide receiver, but whatever. It was fun time. But the funny story, I love this story so much. So I joined the team, right? Competing with Dylan. Me and him didn't get off to a great start. We had a little bit of beef, as you do when you're competing against each other. And we're going against each other in a drill. It's just me versus him. Coach passed me the ball, and I just get hit so fucking hard by this dude Dylan. He laid me out. The ball flies up in the air. I hit the ground, and then I'm so confused about what just happened. I just got hit so hard. The ball lands in my hands while I'm laying down, and I make the fucking catch. Somehow, just pure luck, really. Probably the best catch I've ever had, right?
Probably the last catch you ever had.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And then coach goes, nice catch. And then Dylan goes, what the fuck? You caught that shit? You caught that shit? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what just happened. And then from then on, Dylan was my dude, bro. In that moment, we gained so much respect for each other because he hit the fuck out of me. He laid me out, and I took it, and I somehow got the ball, and he respected that, and I respected him. And from then on, we were just boys after that. And we like to reminisce on that story.
You know what? I think one of the things that I enjoy, and I think most men enjoy about their connections with one another and how we become friends, is that it was competition.
Yeah.
I used to say that it was fighting that made men closer, but it was competition that made us closer. Mm-hmm. Men in our society have not learned what competition is like anymore, and so they're so far apart. They don't talk about it. I
like that take. I agree. I haven't heard that before, and I think thinking back on like some of my friendships, my closest friendships have evolved through competition.
Yeah.
And the more you fight with your friends, the closer you are. Right?
Yeah. Like it's not necessarily like I got a battle with you, punch it out. Yeah. I just realized that it was competition that made me and my friends closer because the guys that I battled and competed against, it just brought us a little closer.
You just better yourselves throughout that competition.
And it's like the old proverb, like iron sharpens iron. Strong men working with other strong men make better men. It's like you cannot hold yourself back by not competing. And I think, this is me, I think that's what a lot of people in our country aim to do is not make us better because they're like, well, everyone should win. No. We have to compete against each other to draw us closer together. Otherwise, we drift further and further apart. Mm-hmm. There are winners and there are losers. There are people that might be losers, and guess what? Sometimes you go, I don't want you on my team. Imagine that.
That's what makes you better, though.
Yeah. Then you strive instead of
get any shit you can.
Instead of crying
get any
about
shit you can.
Instead of crying about not making it, you go, well, I need to get a better teammate. Mm-hmm. I remember this, and I remember this from the truth. Remember this. I'm going to look at the camera when I say this one. Remember the person who didn't do the work on their project, who didn't show up for the meetings, who didn't do anything to get their grade. You didn't want them on your team. You didn't want them part of your project. You did not want them to get the grade. You were like, F you, man. You didn't do the work.
You didn't do shit.
But yet now everyone's like, well, everyone should get credit. Everyone should get a pat on the backside and say, well, they did something. Isn't that special? It's not special. You didn't do shit. And you don't deserve shit. If you didn't work for it, like Little Red Hen, you didn't help make the cake. Why are you going to eat the cake? You didn't do anything. So stop thinking you deserve things. Start working for it and competing. I'd rather you do this much and get this much than do nothing and then yell about it. That ends my Noah talk.
That's true. Yeah.
And it also ends how like people are becoming in our relationships and our friendships. We grow and our bonds become deeper.
Yeah.
So Charlie, what's gonna come next?
I don't know, dude. I'm just like trying to think about long term, right?
What's
what do I
next?
want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's like the older I get, like the less I know, and that's like pretty scary, you know. But I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel. But also, I'll talk to like some of my friends, and they seem like they know their shit. They know they got goals, you know. I mean, I got goals too, but it's, you know, I'm a sophomore in college now.
Yeah.
And
Rising junior
everyone's
too.
getting older.
You're junior soon, so
yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, nah, man, time flies by.
It gets faster and
like
faster.
this. This is the Sunday Funday podcast. Your hangover never sounded so good. We'll be back with part 2 with this Charlie here to talk about goal setting our expectations, and planning for our future. This is the Sunday Funday podcast. Your hangovers never sounded so good. Deuces.